Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you're having a good weekend and all that garbage. Anyway, next week until the end of the year, we're going to be doing roundup shows. I'm going to do a different genre each day. Loads of bands to get through because we've checked out a bunch of really great bands, and I've had to leave a bunch of bands out as well. So yeah, we've only got a couple of days this weekend to get any new bands on the show. Today we're going to do a bunch of rock bands. We've got 5 rock bands. We're going to be going for ages today. But anyway, they're all great bands. They're all different styles and stuff like that. And as I say, it's only today and tomorrow that we've got new bands on the show. So this first band, they were on the show already this week. They made a submission for us, a soul rock, very, very smooth, nice track, soulful track. Not the kind of sound that we normally have on the show because it was very distorted and loud. But it had a great sound, very, very nice. And nice to check out something a bit different. We like to do that as well. But I did mention in the video, maybe these, because they said they're a punk band on their Instagram. I said maybe these guys have got a bit more of a punky track as well because it was a very ballady type track that they sent in. Well, they said, yeah, no problem. We got stuff like that as well. So they've sent in another track as well. Very appreciative. This is Bad Breed. This track is called War With Myself, and we're going to check it out right now. So let's see what it's like. Yeah. Mixing it up already. Yeah, that guitar tone gives the music a real vibe. I did mention last video, this guy's got a bit of Van Morrison to his style. Sounds great, I like him. Now, I'm not sure that's the intended use for a dime guitar with that many pointed angles on it, but it sounds great. Yeah, these guys have got a nice smoothness to their music. Got the attitude.
And the wind with rain beat down your door. Nothing less or more. I took myself to war. Nothing less or more. I took myself.
Yeah, some nice energy changes in this one. I think that guitar tone they've got there with the reverb on it just sounds great. It widens out the track, even though it's not super wide on the stereo. It gives an atmosphere and kind of a room sound to the music. A good bass tone. Yeah. These guys have got a nice smooth groove, moving the energy around, dropping us into different sections. Different dynamics to the track, held back, laid back parts. and their more powerful kind of pushing it harder parts with different types of energies. Very cool. I said these guys were a quality band in the last video. Confirmed. Drummer's got a cool vibe. Super cool. Yeah, these guys mix it up. Very nice job. There's so much going on in this music. It reminds me a bit of what I was saying about House Indoor the other day with their experimental metal. It gave me a kind of jam track vibe. And what I mean by that is it's a bunch of musicians who've jammed together for so long that they're so locked into kind of each other's thinking and knowing what each other's going to do with the music and take it to the next section, that these kind of bands can jam out a track there and then, improvise a track almost, or just kind of iterate on another track that they've written and just take it off in a bit of a new spin and a new direction. And everyone's on board, everyone knows where the train's going, so that, you know, they can just flow with it and just flow into the next section. And they probably cleaned it up for the record and things like that. But I think tracks like these, where they just got a lot of different sections, certainly not a verse, chorus type of track. You know, it just flows from one thing to the next. You never really know what's going to come next, but it all works out in the end. And these are the kind of things where it's a bunch of actual musicians who can just kind of semi-improvise and jam out with each other and produce a track really within the moment, in the spot, on the spot. And then you can just go off and kind of, you know, polish up the edges that were roughed out, as long as you recorded it and everything else. So yeah, it gave me that vibe that it's just a flowing from one section to the next track. And to me, that gives me a vibe of a jam track. And what I mean by that is a band that can just jam out and create music on the spot. Because they're just in tune with each other and great musicians. Very, very cool band. Hopefully see them a lot more in the new year. Now, this next band you're going to see next week as well, because they have actually made it into my rock finds of the year list, because I just enjoyed their last track so much. I thought it was different. I thought it was really cool, and I played it a bunch of times after listening to it on the show. This is Celeb Car Crash. Their track that they're going to show today is called Let Me In. So let's hear this one. Nice high quality vid. Yeah. Nice bass. mix. Nice and loud, nice and wide. Punchy drums. Nice energies in this one. It's a good bop in the drums, they're nice and driving forward, but the guitar is kind of washed out, reverbing. So it's cool, it's got a double-edged energy. Yeah, that bass great as well. Such a mess, such a coward, such a trash, such a shame to find out. Look me out the way when I'm young. Such a whore, such a mess, such a coward, such a trash, such a shame to find out. Look me out the way. It's hypocrisy I see. Let me on begging, begging on my knees. Now I can read out. It's hypocrisy I see. Let me on begging, begging on my knees. Now I can read it. I can read it. I can read it. Yeah. Got a great sound. Yeah. These are a quality band, solid band. I think they got a great sound. I think they got a great mix. I think they got good energy. I like the tracks. I like the vocalist. I like his tone. Good punchy drums and energy in the drums as well. And I think these guys are just... They remind me of kind of early Foo Fighters. And that's when I enjoyed Foo Fighters the most, if I'm honest. I think they've just got that kind of alt rock, grunge rock kind of vibe to them. Oh, still going on this video. And yeah, it's just a great sound. It's not a super fresh, modern sound, other than the fact that the mix is very modern. But you know, the kind of the vibe of this music is, I would say, I don't know what, late 90s, moving into the early 2000s. It's got a bit of punkiness to it as well. You can imagine it on the old Burnout games. If you used to play those games, these kind of tracks, you know, were great for driving fast and crashing your car on the Burnout games. It's that kind of vibe. I don't know, Jimmy Eats World and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think these guys are great. I like all that kind of music. These guys have got the same kind of sound and vibe, but just with a nice modern punchy mix. And the vocalist has got a good tone for it. You know, the vocals in that kind of music, the vocalist and his tone make or break. And this guy's great. So there you go. They've made it. Here we go on to the next band. This is Black Wolf Mountain. Their track is called Retribution. We haven't had these guys on the show before, I don't think. So let's check them out. Go. This one does need cranked up a little bit though.
Someone kill, better watch your back, son. Don't need another reason, cause I already got one.
Nice gravelly throat.
Like a shot from a hollow point, hot load magnum. Got your name on my bullet, boy, come and get some. You took a trust and threw it. You threw it away. I'm collecting resolution.
It's got a nice kick, nice cymbals.
I've got retribution in my mind, driving me insane.
A bit more classic, hard rock, heavy metal. He's got a good voice for it again, though. You know, the tone of the vocal makes all the difference. If you've got the right voice, if you've got the right gravel in your throat, or a bit of rasp, or whatever it is, there you go.
Calling out your fucking name.
Attitude.
How many lies have you fought with your bullshit game? Stealing the souls of everyone you shame. Now you're lost for head. Game's over, you're too late. You took a trust and threw it. You threw it all away. I'm collecting resolution. Now you're gonna have to pay. I've got retribution in my mind, driving me
You just drop onto the ride like that and start tingling on. This gives the music a great groove, great sound. It just works well every time.
much for you to say. My name's Retribution, and it's payback time. Payback time a day.
That's weighty drums. Yeah, drummer's working it out. Could you give that bass a little bit more grizzle and grind? Dirty it up a bit more. Like a dude's throat. Yeah, drummer's kicking it.
Retribution in my mind. I've got retribution in my mind, driving me insane.
These kind of parts are what rides were made for. It's just a perfect use for a ride.
When there's nothing much for you to say. My name's Retribution, and it's payback time. Payback time a day.
Yeah, drummers doing a lot of nice little things and tings and little fill sections to just take the music to the next level.
Payback time a day.
You know, when your drummer's great, when your drummer's better than your average drummer, it makes your music better than the average music.
Bullet boys.
Good Christ almighty, really? I can't ever get away from that band.
You know, I talk about drummers in every single video that I make because I absolutely love drummers, and I love what they do. I love the sound that they make, but they're also so important. Important to the music. What the drummer is doing, the beat that he's making, the cymbals that he's crashing, and how interesting he is on the drums, how much he does a roll. Are his rolls just kind of dun 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 dun? Or has he got kind of style and feels and thrills and kind of all kind of interesting things going on? Does he ting on the ride at certain sections? You know, is there kind of a breakdown? You go dun, ting, something like that will just catch people's ear and set you apart from the bands that don't do that stuff. So drummers, you know, I'm sure they realise how important they are for the most part, but we do see drummers that are kind of phoning it in, just keeping the beat, basically a human metronome, and that's fine. But it's the guys that think outside of that box, add a bit of fill and kind of flair and their own jazz to the music. Those are the ones that take it to the next level and step it up. I thought the drummer in this band just kind of highlighted that perfectly, because The music was kind of fairly standard, classic, format for the music. They weren't kind of, super experimental, out the box, avant-garde type stuff. But because the drummer was interesting, he was a good drummer, and he put lots of interesting fills and bits and bobs and rolls into the next section and working the different cymbals, tinging on the ride at the right time in the music. Really made a difference in the sound. So yeah, took it to the next level. Very, very cool. This next band up is a band called Pressure. Their track is called Beaten But Not Dead. We're not dead yet. We've still got 2 tracks to go. So let's check this one out.
I was beaten, but I'm not dead. Knocked down, but I rise again. Under pressure, but I'm still alive. Lost, but I will find my way. Beaten, but I'm not dead. I can't understand at all. Need to leave this place and find my way home. Well, I gather my emotions.
Drummer's doing it in this band already. Those extra hits on the toms every now and again. Hitting the different cymbals. It's all catching my ear. All sounds interesting. If you didn't do any of that stuff, it would be far less interesting. Kind of that Viking power to this one. I like the way the accent's coming through in his vocal as well. Bit of bass.
It's time for you to leave. Why do you always have to hang around me? You always talk, but never listen. I'm done with you, my little friend.
Yeah.
Want you to
Some nice little tings on the ride there.
turn to listen. Don't want to hear you breathing. You mean nothing to me now.
He's not the best at lip syncing.
Tell you, just leave me alone. The pressure increases. I'm gonna show you who I am. Yeah, I was beaten, but I'm not dead. Nothing but I rise again.
In the lyrics it's there, but also in the music you've got that rise up kind of power. I was beaten but I'm not totally down kind of vibe. Comes through the music as well as the lyrics. So if he doesn't slip on that rock and ruin his guitar. Cool. Pretty cool video as well for that one. Yeah, I was thinking while I was listening to this track, I was saying just the other day, that, you know, people with who make music with passion connect with other people, because generally when you're singing about something with passion, you're doing it because, you know, it's affected you. There's something on your mind, there's something on your chest that you want to express. And I was saying that we all share those kind of things as well. You're not the only person in the world with your set of problems. I guarantee you that. Yeah, no matter how specific you might think they are. And when you sing about them, when you make music about them, when you express those emotions through your music, you can connect with other people. And I was just thinking, you know, this is another one of those kind of tracks where if you connect with these lyrics, if you've been down and out, but you've kind of on the rise back again, or you've risen back from, you know, rock bottom, you could connect with these lyrics, you could connect with the vibe of this music, and it might mean something very personal to you as well, and I'm sure it meant something very personal to the people making the music, because that's why you sing about these kind of things and that have that kind of vibe to your music. So there you go, just another thing that kind of came round again. Now we're going to finish off with this last band. How long we've been going? Nearly half an hour, and this one's 5 minutes as well. And this is going to be a long video today, but as I say, this is going to be the last new bands that you'll see on the show before the end of the year. We got Punk tomorrow, and then that's it. We're going to be recapping for the rest of the year, because we've got that many bands and genres to check out. So here we go. This is McHaren. Their track is called Atom Killer. They're going to be the last new rock band on the show of 2020. We're all happy to get 2020 out the way, so here we go. Let's hope it doesn't end with atom bombs, though. I've said it before. I just think those visuals are cool. It's a shame what has to happen to get them, but it looks cool as hell. When you get that shockwave come afterwards, it's just cool. Now we've got a different vibe to this one. And that's what I was liking as well when I was putting out these videos for today, that we all had a different vibe in every one, but it was still rocking out. Just shows you how versatile rock is, how many different edges and sounds there are to rock. It really sound like a lot of different things, but still have that rock vibe. Yeah. Cool sound on those guitars. This whole mix has just got a kind of tapey, old schooly sound to it. Using the toms like this, taking it off the cymbals, doing it into a moody, tommy sound, low-endy sound, changes the dynamic of the music so that when you return to the cymbals again, it makes a big difference to the sound and changes the dynamic of the track, notches it up a gear, you know. Very cool. There you go. It's gone onto the hi-hat. Now if he takes it onto the crash, it's gone back to the toms. But if he then took it onto the crash, that would just knock it up another gear. Yeah, this one's a pretty broody track where it's kind of toms and then a bit of cymbal work. It just adds that vibe to your music. It's just stuff to think about when you're making your music. You think, you know, nice to get a broody section right here. Well, the way you do that is take it off the cymbals, move it onto the toms. You'll get that vibe going on. Yeah, some cool guitar tones in this one as well. It's got that kind of psychedelicness to it. It just looks cool as hell. And we have seen these clips quite a few times now, because they are classic clips, and there's only so many clips of nuclear bombs. And I enjoy them every time. You don't get these visuals any other way than setting off a nuke. That's what you got to do. It looks very cool. I like the music that's going along with it as well. It's giving it a vibe. Because it's got that old school sound to it. It goes with the old school footage as well. Very cool. I enjoyed that a lot, and I enjoyed the video as well, even though I probably shouldn't enjoy watching atoms going off, atom bombs going off, but I just think it's the coolest thing. I like the science of it, you know. I think about the amount of energy involved and the power, and you see the clouds disappear and the shockwave flying across the ground and just ripping apart everything it comes into contact with. You know, the fact that you see it happen and then you hear it happen, kind of depending on how far away you are afterwards. I think all that stuff's just super cool. So I don't mind how many videos we have of classic atomic bomb footage in our uploads, although I do complain about some other clips getting used too often, because I just enjoy that one personally. But I thought the music was great. It had an old school psychedelic kind of 70s vibe to it. It was still mixed nice and well though. It had a good width to it, had a good volume to it and loudness as well, but still had those tones in there and a vibe, that kind of broodiness with the toms and everything else. Very, very cool music. I've enjoyed all the bands today, even though we've gone on for 35 minutes, and I've talked about them kind of more so than I should have to try and get through this video quickly. But I hope you've made it to the end, because if you're into rock, you know, we've done a real kind of 5 great different types of rock to check out today. All sorts of different edges and sounds and energies, but all still rocking out. You know, they're all rock bands today. So it just shows you rock is a very wide genre nowadays. It can sound like a whole bunch of different kind of times and decades of rock gone past. But not only that, it can sound different depending on how you've mixed it as well. So yeah, very, very cool. You can still have a modern band, but with a classic mix and sound. Very, very cool. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. As I say, tomorrow's the last day you'll see any new bands on the show for this year. Going to be some punk bands, and then next week and until the end of the year, you're going to want to check in, because I'm recapping all the kind of greatest bands have been on the show. So if you've not watched every video, and I don't kind of, you know, I don't expect people to watch every video. I don't expect people to make it to the end of 35-minute videos very often either. But we've gone on in this one. I'll try and shut up now. Watch the punk tomorrow, and then all next week to the end of the year is recapping great bands. So just tune in every day next week. Hope you have a great weekend and all that garbage. I'm going to stop talking now. See you. Bye.